What's up guys, Wallen Customs here, and today we are taking a look at the Build-A-Figure for Lobo. I was just filming my video on him right now. I was putting him together like I always do, and I found out that this shoulder has a lot of problems. This one's fine. It went in pretty nicely. The disc shoulder joint is nice and smooth and firm, so I have no problems with this one. On this side, when I stick it in, it's very wobbly, for my liking of course. And also the disc on the shoulder is very tight, so when I was moving it around, it pops right out. So we had to fix that. Now what I would do, which I'm going to do right now, is I'm going to line this little circle right here with some super glue, and also put a little bit at the edge right there just to tighten it up. Stick it in, let it dry for a couple seconds, go dry fast, and then start rotating it. That way as it dries, it causes some friction. Also, it dries up. If there's any gaps in there, it'll fill up, and you gotta rotate it so it will be nice and firm. Over here though, I'm gonna put some silicone shock oil right there. I made a video for that, go check it out if you haven't yet. And that will loosen this part up too, because it's a little too tight for my liking. So yeah, this should make it a lot better. So let's get to work. Alright, so I'm actually gonna use for this one this super glue right here because it's a nice gel and a little bit thicker, so I like that a lot. So you can't really see what I'm doing, but I'm gonna put it inside the hole right there, just around the ring, and it dries relatively pretty fast overall, a couple minutes, especially let it sit there for a while. It's a little bit, actually this might be too much, but by me rotating it, it will work wonders still. So it's in there, and then I'm gonna put just a little bit at the edge, not too much, because once you put it in, it might push it, and you don't want to get it into the disc. Very small dabs I'm doing. My apologies if you can't really see the detail up close what I'm doing, but I am working on precision so I can see exactly what I'm doing. I'll let that dry a little bit. Now if it doesn't work right away, I'll do it again, which is fine. So let it sit there, maybe turn it a little bit to start, and let it dry. Now I don't think this is enough actually, it's still kind of wobbly. Probably hasn't dried yet per se. Might need a little bit more. It seemed like that socket inside the shoulder was just a little bit too wide. Oh, maybe it's working actually. It feels a little bit better now. Oh, it's stiffening up. See that? It's not moving anymore. Alright, we're getting somewhere. Feels a lot better actually. Yeah, it's starting to dry up. This is good too because it's like a gel. It's not like super glue, which is like a liquid, so it's a lot thicker. I have both super glue and the liquid one and this gel one. Use them for different purposes. Obviously, it's good to have on hand, and I like to use this for a lot of different things because it's weatherproof, waterproof, cold proof, heat proof. So it'll work wonders. And this is working fantastic. So you want to keep rotating it because you don't want it to fully harden the glue or it'll get stuck. So this might take a process, a couple of minutes. Very boring, but you really want to be careful with it because, like I said before, you don't want it to just totally get stuck. And if it pops out again, it's fine because that gel glue you put in there has already created a new layer, so just stick it back in, do the whole process all over again. We're just trying to create a new layer inside the socket to make more friction and make it more firm. And this is, you do the same process if you had any other loose joints. that are just a little bit too wide, you know, you have to fill it up basically and keep rotating it to tighten it up. And you see, this is a lot better. It's more firm now. Like this side is perfect, but this one needs some work. Alright, now it's time for the silicone shock oil, and that stuff is really good. You only need maybe 1 or 2 drops, you know, and then you rotate it in and out on the shoulder joint and the disc. If you need more, go ahead, use more, but just start 1 or 2 drops first because you want to let it sit and go through the whole disc. Too much might be too loose. And this is very, very effective stuff right here. So I'm just gonna dab in a little bit. I use a silicone shock oil for a lot of stuff. So one of the best kept secrets. That's 1 drop right there. Let it sit in. Let it go in there. Rotate it a little bit. And move around. I mean, you can really see on the camera that's shiny right there. And this will pretty much do the job. Let it sit in there. It's getting a little bit loosened now, so it's good stuff. Like I said before, sorry for the camera angle. I'm just really focusing on seeing it in front of my face so I get everything right and perfect. I can use 1 more drop, maybe. Small drop. Aim for the corners of the seam so it gets in there. And that did it. That's good stuff right there. Clean up the outside if you want to. It's a little bit. A paper towel. You really just want it inside the seam. You don't want it really hanging out around there that much. You rotate it up a little bit so gravity will take its place right there. And I don't really need it for this part, but I will just do it since I'm doing it anyway. 1 drop will pretty much do. Maybe I could do on top. You can always go from the top right here as well if you want to. But I like to work on the inside. That's a tiny drop. Tiny drop. Clean up the excess on the outside right here. Let gravity work its magic. Everything's falling over. Alright, so after I do all that, I let it sit there for about 10-15 minutes. Let it let the oil seep into the grooves right there, so you don't get a lot of excess dripping out. And like I said, let gravity work its magic. I pop the shoulders upward, so if it's downward, it might come out. I don't want it going to the bicep swivels. But overall, once you get that much in there, you should be fine. Like I said before, don't overdo it because you will have a lot dripping out sometimes. Also clean it up a little bit if you have the chance. But yeah, so right now I just tighten up a joint and I loosen up a joint. And using super glue of any form you want to use, and also the silicone shock oil to loosen up. Great stuff to have in your collection, in your arsenal for your action figures, because you will have a lot of different figures with loose joints or really tight joints and you need to fix them. I personally I know a lot of people like tight joints, but you don't want it too tight because you might break something, or who knows. So the shoulder, like I said before, is still a little bit wobbly, but it's not falling out anymore, so that's always a good thing. But if it does happen to fall out one more time, which I hope it does, I could go in there one more time and tighten it back up. But if it's staying in there, it's not popping out, then I don't really have a problem with that. So it's a lot better than before. And now we can Put his jacket back on. Because when I was doing my video, I was taking his, I really knew the shoulder felt bad, and I was taking his jacket off. His arm just popped right off, so I needed to do this right away. And it's a lot better now. Let's put the head back on. It's a good figure. Hopefully I get the review out fast, but I'll probably put this video out first because I know a lot of people like to see how-to sometimes. And that's Lobo. Cool guy, the main man. And that's about it, guys. I hope this video was helpful. Like I said before, apologies for the camera angles. I'm just trying to do this really quickly. But yeah, that's about it. Like always, comment, criticize, subscribe, do whatever you want, pay attention. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Peace!